Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City media podcast. Stepping up to the microphone are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up? Welcome to episode 109.
It's not TJ Willis, it's me.
I'm your boy T-Laz, and TJ bailed on us.
Does he have the bubble guts again? That's the question.
We are awaiting results, according to him, of flu.
Oh,
Not for him,
oh.
but for another in the family. But I think what's really happened is the Vikings are currently getting taken to the woodshed, and I just don't think emotionally he was able to get on.
That's exactly what it is. He's like, hey, all of a sudden everybody's got the flu at the house.
See, he told us because he thought he was going to be watching a Vikings beatdown, and he's like, I can't record. And then the game started, and now he just emotionally can't handle it.
No, that's exactly what it is.
So he's not here tonight.
TJ's been known to be emotionally immature.
Yeah, of the two, it's definitely so I'm playing a little catch up this eve. TJ did this a number of weeks ago. We've got Wiseacre's Adjective Animal, a double IPA.
Wait. Say that one more time.
Adjective Animal?
Brother.
What?
Where'd you go to school?
Ridgeway?
No, for real. Where'd you graduate?
The University of Memphis.
No. High school.
St. George's.
I think it sounds phonetically adjective animal, not adjective.
No, it's Objective Animal.
I don't think so. I think it might be adjective animal.
I don't think I've actually ever had this before.
It's a pretty can. Can I rate it now?
If you want, have you seen this one up close and personal? Do you know that it's like designed? There's animals designed all up in there.
I'm digging it. Yep. I like the color.
See that rabbit, that bear?
I see the bear. I see the rabbit. I see the. Was there a hawk in there somewhere? Top. It's a top.
I see wings, but I don't see the face.
Yeah, that's what I was confused about. I saw wings, but I'm not sure if I see.
There's a wing there, but I don't know where the rest of this animal is. There's an alligator here.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Adjective Animal.
Well, you're watching Minnesota get mollywopped at halftime. I'm watching the Grizzlies taking on the Houston Rockets in Houston. It's their get-back game. I'm telling you what, man, Jalen Green is a bucket, bro. It's 86-78.
Wow, you're ahead of me. Oh, yeah. He just hit the three.
That was actually Cam Whitmore, but Jalen Green's a bucket.
Just hit the three to make it 78.
Yeah. Let's go, Ja. Bow. No, sir.
Wow, you are real ahead of me. Ja's just now crossing half court.
Yeah, he's about to shoot a three.
What do you have? What are you watching over there?
I'm on FanDuel. Des Bain is going off in the third quarter, man.
Like the FanDuel app?
Yep.
Wow, it's about 15 seconds faster. How was your snow date, Kenneth?
Yeah, dude, it was fun. Silas got out there in the snow for a while. We made a big old snow. Well, not big. It wasn't really big.
Y'all got some big hills out there in Seville. You do any sledding?
Nah, man. Like Silas didn't really feel like sledding, and Sayla didn't get out of the bed till like 1 p.m. Like she's not a cold weather snow person. She would not leave the bed. So she didn't experience the snow at all on the actual snow day. I got out there with Silas for a while. We had a good old time. We had a fun time. And then I tried to go ahead.
The most perfect snowball snow that I have ever experienced in my life.
The best. It was the best.
At least on Friday. I mean, you grabbed snow and it was immediately a perfect snowball.
Yeah, it was a lot of, I think it was because a lot of times when Memphis gets snowy weather like that, it rains for a couple of days prior and then just kind of gets all slushy and dirty and gross up underneath there. It was like dry, bone dry, and then it just dumped snow.
But
and it was
it was just good, heavy, wet
just
snow, and
beautiful snow.
I think that has more to do with the air temperature or something. It was like
Mm,
33. You know, last year when we got the snow, it was real, real cold, so it was like that dry,
mhm.
wooden compact. You try to pick it up, it's like flour, you know?
Yep, yep. It was a nice
That
day
snow
though.
on
How about
Friday
you?
was
Did your kids have fun in it?
uh, well, William, he doesn't wanna wear a hat or socks or gloves or anything, so he really only stayed outside for about 2 minutes.
Yeah,
But Catherine is yeah, she was all about
she was all
it.
about it. You know who was all about it? My dog was all about it.
Oh,
He
yes, our dog is I mean, Zoomies
Yes,
galore when the snow
zoomies all day. It was zoomies all
yeah.
day in the backyard.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
fun.
It's unbelievable. No, she had a good time. We played for about a couple sessions. She doesn't really make it more than like 15 minutes because she gets too cold
Yeah,
and she wants to go back inside. But we had several 15-minute sessions. And then Saturday,
yeah.
after it had gotten a little bit of a refreeze and it was a little bit slicker, we went over to a friend's house early that morning and went sledding. They got a nice little bunny slope front yard.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not anything too intense for a 3-year-old, but she enjoyed it. It was a good time.
And William was like, "I'm good."
Yeah, he
He's
actually that day, he kept his hat and stuff on, so he hung out and watched a little bit, and
Yeah.
he had a good time. It's a good morning.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It
She's
was
fired up. We don't get much sun here at the Lastly house in the winter because our, uh, our house faces the opposite direction of where the sun is in the afternoon, so
right.
it looks like we've had 0 meltage,
Really?
and Catherine's real fired up about that. We still have our whole front yard's still covered
Yeah, ours is
with snow
gone.
stuff.
Ours is
Really?
gone. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm used to that. You know, growing up, if it snowed overnight, the snow was basically gone by noon, and
Yeah.
back in my day.
Yeah, back
We
in
didn't
my
get
day.
snow for several days in a row.
No.
I feel like that's happening more frequently these days. But,
Yeah, it was nice.
yeah, William, born on a snow day last year, we got snowed in at the hospital. He turns 1 today, Tuesday. It's just gonna snow for his birthday the rest of his life.
Congratulations, Big Will.
Fast
That's what I'm talking about.
fastest year of my life.
Sir William.
Seems like yesterday I was calling you boys from the hospital chair after
That
we had
does
just
feel
hit
like it was just yesterday.
a
Wow.
program record 17 threes at Wichita State. It was right before everything went to shit. William came into
Right.
this world. We beat Wichita State on the road by 30. We were
Yep,
15-2, number 10 in the country.
yep. You know what I was doing a year ago, today? I was in the hospital.
Kenneth. Oh, I remember. Yes.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I was thinking about it today, and I was like, "You know what? This has been a year now of the craziness that went down that day and that night and having to go to the hospital and just kinda going, okay, physically, how do I get myself in a better, health
Yeah.
position?" And,
And you've done it. You've done a
I've done
great
it.
job over the last year.
I
You have.
appreciate it, man. Been a lot of hard work, but
You have.
still going, still fighting, still going, but I feel I definitely am. I just look back at a year ago tonight and how I was feeling. Like I thought I was like gone. Like I was like, this is I felt
Wow.
terrible. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's rough. That's wild. A year ago today, tonight,
Yep.
January 13th, we were both at the hospital for different reasons.
Totally different reasons. In the same hot
Very
where were you guys at?
We were at Germantown,
Yeah,
Methodist.
I was right there with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
man.
had no idea.
I was in
You
the
could have
emergency room.
you could have been there for William's delivery.
I'm
You could have
good.
had you could have had your full we could have had the full camera equipment. You could have
Yeah.
made a Bluff City highlight
Could have made
short.
a documentary, a mini documentary about our hospital stays that night.
Natalie Will loved it. You know what else happened that night?
What's that?
The nurses told there were 3 births
Yeah.
in the previous like, when we got there, middle of the night, in the previous 24 hours leading up to that, 3 births in the hospital parking lot. Is that not
Yeah.
wild?
They just didn't make it in time?
Well, 1, she had it 2 had them in the parking lot, like, in the car in the parking lot.
Wow.
1 had it on the way, but she, like,
Jeez.
just, like, walked in holding her baby.
That's That's pretty
Isn't
wild.
that wild?
That
They
would be
said it
crazy.
the nurses told us it kinda happens like that in, like, clusters where it won't happen for several months, and then one night they'll have, like, 2 or 3 happen in the same night, and I'm just like, that's insane to me that you get I mean, I don't know.
It's just
I guess
wild.
the more kids you have, the faster it progresses, you know?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
anyway, that was a wild story from that night, them
There ain't a
telling us
whole
that.
lot there ain't a whole lot impeding the,
Yeah,
you know,
the escape
the
route.
escape route. Yeah, escape
Yeah,
route is a
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Speaking of escaping, an
Oh,
escape route,
dude,
we didn't even plan that.
you're so good at this. You're so
Goodness.
good.
The Hardwood Tigs escaping the dirty, dirty pirates of East Carolina on Saturday.
The dirty pirates.
Oh my goodness, 74-70, and a game which they were up 18
Yep.
in the first half. Felt like exactly what they needed to do because at the end of the I think right before tip, the line had moved all the way down to like Tigers minus 12.5. I know there were people out there questioning what was going on. We are not on the Bluff podcast. I don't know what's happening
Dadgummit,
right
I hit the wrong button. My apologies. Boom, we're
now.
back.
Wow.
I was trying to play some audio and I accidentally hit the
Uh,
wrong button. I'm sorry.
mm, wow. Off to a rough start. Producer of the year,
Oh,
Kenny. Second episode of this year, and he's
it's been a rough one. It's been a rough start. I had to apologize to Gabe and Christian for messing up their banners and all that kind of stuff.
mm,
It was not a good start for me.
that's okay. We'll get it figured out here. Uh, no, it looked like they were going to do exactly what they needed to do, which
Yep.
is blow some of these teams out. I mean, especially East Carolina, who
Not
is
a pirate. You are not a pirate. You are
I don't
not
know what
a
that's
pirate.
from.
I'll give you one guess as to what that's from. One of the best movies of
I
all
just
time.
said I don't know what it's from.
Figure if you can figure it out, you are
Give me
not a
a hint.
pirate.
When did it come out?
Steve the pirate.
Steve the Pirate.
You are not a pirate.
I don't know. Somebody's yelling at me right
Not
now.
a pirate. You are
I
not
don't know
a
who is
pirate.
Steve.
You are not a pirate.
Dodgeball, the movie
Oh,
Dodgeball.
mhm. You know what I was about to say was Wedding Crashers because there's the weird bro. What's the brother's name in that?
Uh,
The one that
uh,
like
um,
the paintings and stuff.
yeah.
But it wasn't that.
No.
Mm, Dodgeball. Wow, I haven't seen Dodgeball in a long time.
Yep. Yeah, back to the
Uh,
game. Sorry about
no,
that.
we escaped the Pirates 74-70. I mean, in a game, it felt like I mean, they said it. They kinda just get comfortable, right, and get lazy, laid back,
Yeah.
feel like they're gonna just walk through. They get bored, and you can't do that. Um,
Yep.
Turnovers, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say the refs were at fault, but there were a lot of real questionable
Oh,
calls
dude.
in that
From
game.
even during the first half when they were up by 14 going in,
Right.
those there were
Yeah.
2 refs out there that, like, it was very clear they were wanting to put their hands on the game. And they again, just another example of, for me, how terrible college reffing is. It is just so bad.
It really is, and I feel like this conversation happens a lot, and a lot of times it really makes college basketball, like, unwatchable.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, I'm not saying that the reffing is what caused the Tigers
no,
to,
not at all. There were
get
horrible
outscored.
decisions being made on the floor, turning the ball over, um, a lack of defense in the second half.
100%.
Um, just not I mean, you get out with a win, which is I just keep winning. That's all you
Yeah.
gotta do, but just not metrically or kinda what you need seating wise, it doesn't help at all to you're favored by 12.5. I think the computers had you winning by 16, 17,
Yeah.
and it looked like you were on path to do that, and then
Yep.
for it to be a tie game with
Ugh.
a minute and a half left or whatever it was, just disgusting.
Just boils down to, like, 2 things for me. It was and both of these things kinda stacked up on top of each other, which made the run continue to happen. East Carolina, I mean, Memphis just stopped running good offense in like they did in the first half. I mean,
Yeah.
they were being very sharp and dissecting with their offense in the first half, and they got a lot
Oh,
of really good
100%.
shots.
It took 6, 7, 8 minutes in the first half, especially when East Carolina moved to that zone, but then they figured it out. PJ
Yeah.
Carter hit a mid-range. They were cutting them up,
Yeah.
moving the ball, swinging it, getting it to the corner, then cutting baseline. I remember there was a Jourdain dunk off of
Two of
that.
them. Two of them.
And then, yeah, the second half was just like a totally different, what are we doing offensively?
And the fact that a lot of it was one-on-one, long shots,
Mhm.
shots that were contested, shots that were long rebounds, which then led to, the bad offense kind of compounded itself by them not getting back on defense. I mean,
Right.
ECU they would grab a rebound and then just pass it like up 3 levels up the court and nobody was back. It happened constantly. And
Yeah.
that was just it was such simple little things, which to me it's just a pure, like, focus
Yeah, it's a
thing.
lack of focus. That's
Yeah,
100% what Saturday was.
yeah,
You get up 20 in the first half, and then your focus is gone. You
yeah,
stop paying attention to little things. You stop the effort kind of gets a little lackadaisical.
yeah.
And it's just that mindset of like, we'll win this game. It's, if we got to turn it on, we'll turn it on when we need to, kind of thing.
And here's the
Um,
crazy part is they're going to win most of their conference games. Like, they're
yeah.
going to, but
But
all it
this,
takes is just
it
one,
goes it
you
goes
know?
back to what, yeah. I mean, that would have been a horrible one. I mean, that'd have been a Q4 loss. Coming into that game, East Carolina was, I think, 0-56 on the road against ranked teams. So when they tie it up with a minute and a half left, a minute 45, I'm like, holy shit, we're about to be the one.
Yeah,
They've literally never beaten a team in their program's history that was ranked on the road,
yeah,
and it's about to happen. Um, but no, that I mean, that would have been atrocious, a quad 4 loss. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure it will happen at some point. I mean, it's very difficult no matter what conference you're in to go undefeated in it. I know that they're projected by Kim Palm and some other places they won't be an underdog the rest of the season.
right.
Um, but that would have been a really, really bad one at home.
Their lowest projected, if you look at the ESPN's rankings,
BPI, yeah,
BPI, it's like 74% is the lowest,
yeah,
like,
I believe it.
the rest of the way, and that's against UAB in March at home.
Which scares at home. They were,
In Birmingham, at UAB's
yeah.
home. Yeah,
Um, Yeah, it's 7 that's also the lowest on Kim Palm, it's 71 on Kim Palm, percent
yeah.
chance to win. Um, a 6-point ball game is what they have.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's just not I mean, it goes again like, Penny was talking about it, I think last week, just saying, like, you can't have that lack of focus, and he doesn't want it shouldn't take
Mm.
Tyrese and PJ and some of those starters playing 37, 38 minutes a night. And then you turn around and you have a game where it looks like in the first half that's gonna be the case.
Yeah.
You even kinda started it early, it's one of those games, and I know there's probably a lot of people out there, like, screaming because Jared Harris and some guys were in very early.
Jared and PJ were immediately off the bench within, like, 3 minutes,
Um,
yeah,
but honestly, if there's a game on the schedule, it's East Carolina or, like,
yeah,
Charlotte this weekend where you shouldn't have to play them down the stretch. The game should be comfortably in hand, and then here we look at it, and PJ played 35 and Tyrese played 31.
yeah. They had to. I mean, the second
And
half, they had to.
that's still far too many. I mean, they should have played 23 minutes the other night.
I mean, yeah, it is far too many, but at the same time, it's like, these guys can do it. I mean, they'll be fine. I mean,
I mean,
they
yeah,
they had to play extended minutes in the second half because the game got close, but, PJ Haggerty set for, you know, a few game minutes in the first half, which he normally doesn't do. You know what I'm
sure.
saying? Like,
Yeah,
he
and Tyrese came out early. We got a lot of Dante the other day.
yeah,
Which speaking of 22 minutes, he was 1 of 2 from the field, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 rebounds, 2 points. He had one nasty feed to Musa.
yeah.
Did you see his plus minus the other day?
What was it? It was,
In a 4-point game in 22 minutes. Dante Harris was plus 18.
Yeah,
Led the
he was
team.
number 1 on the team, right? Number led the
Led
team,
the
I saw
team.
that. Yeah. Yeah, that's impressive, man. I was impressed by Dante. I thought he played a good game. He had a couple of pretty ugly turnovers as well,
I mean,
but
who
in
doesn't?
but who doesn't in college basketball, right? Everybody does. But I would say, like, the way that and even Nick talked about it in the post game. He talked about his offense and what he can do, and then he said, but his defense though, like kind of trying to
He's
like say
a
defending
pest.
wise, he's a pest. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he is.
You have
He's
to
up in
be
your
at his
face.
size. You have to be
Yeah.
at his
I mean,
size. You have to be.
it reminds me of not necessarily Alex because he was just a different type of defender. He was a pest for sure, but he was
More
different.
physical,
But it
more
reminds me of when Tyler Harris would really, really try to lock in, and he was just like a gnat on your hip, like
yeah,
all up in your stuff. Super,
yeah,
and it wasn't constant, but he would do it at moments where it was like he's really trying to get after it right now, and
yeah.
that's what it kind of feels like with Dante. But super impressed with him. I mean, I think that's the kind of like his role going forward. I don't know that you need him 22 minutes a night, but a couple of assists, maybe make a bucket at the rim, and then just be a lockdown on ball defender.
You just weren't getting a whole lot from Baraka. Baraka. I will say I was relatively impressed with Baraka.
Early
Played
on,
six.
he looked fine. He came
He
in, he
played
got a
6
quick
minutes and had
steal.
3
Like,
assists.
yeah, like I know that he's struggling offensively and still trying to figure things out, but
Yeah,
I thought when he came in early in that first half, he came in immediately, got a steal. Like you said, he had 3 assists in 6 minutes. Like,
yeah.
I think just Dante, obviously, he's been around longer. He's a fifth year. He's played a lot more basketball, and going down the stretch in March, he's probably going to be kind of that go-to backup
I think so too,
ball
and
handler.
you can kinda see it, right? Like, you could kinda see it in that game against East Carolina. He definitely there was an immediate in that game, especially an immediate trust to, hey, like, we got to get Dante back in to kind of calm things down because Dante's just a different guard than what Tyrese and PJ are in terms of offensive ability, but in terms of like dictating an offense, getting the pass, getting the ball to the right place at the right time. He was definitely in control in that regard, and so I think that there is a level of you could almost see it happen during the game time where Penny was like, "Okay, I trust this guy." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I trust him and I need him out there to just kind of get the ball moving again. Get the
Yeah.
ball moving. I will say he seemed extremely hesitant on a few wide open three-pointers, like wide
I just
open
yeah,
shots.
he's and we can look at it again. I noticed the same thing, and then I'm like, he's not a shooter.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
and
not. He's
as
not.
long as he knows that and he's not throwing it up, I'm totally fine with it. But he shot like
Yeah.
it was something terrible. Something
Yeah.
CJ Walker asked like 17% last year. Which
Yeah.
can we talk? How does that happen to us constantly? CJ Walker shooting 17% from three had made I think three total threes all year long. And he goes 2 of 3 the other day.
Yeah. The
Shoots
way he shot him,
67% from us
I
on
didn't
against
look
us.
at I didn't look at I didn't look at his numbers prior to the game, but the way he shot them, they looked good. They looked
They I
in
mean, yeah,
rhythm. They
it
looked
does look
clean.
fine,
They came out
but it's
in
just like,
yeah.
how does that happen? 17% in a year. He's never made more than 1 in a game. He's only made 3 all year, and then he's 2 of 3, and he hit them on I think they were, like, back to back.
Yeah, he hit 2 in a row. Yeah.
And I'm like, "Shit, we're about to get worked by CJ Walker." He's playing his 15th year of college basketball.
He played a
And we
good game.
did. I mean, he put up his 23 on us, 9 of
Yeah.
10 from the free throw line, 6 of 13 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Um, he had a heck of a day. Him and what's that, Felton, who's been it seems like he's been there forever.
RJ Felton. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of lit us up, the two of them. I think 43 of their 70 points combined.
Yeah, they're tough. They're tough. They're good. I mean, they're not a good team, but those 2 guys are effective players, right? Like
Yeah, for
they can
them,
do some
for
things
sure.
for them. Yeah. I was impressed. I thought CJ Walker, obviously, we covered him when he was in high school because Memphis was recruiting him. And I mean, he was a 5-star, one of the top rate McDonald's All American. Was
He went. He was on that Oregon team that
He was on
played
that
James
Oregon
Wiseman,
team,
right?
yeah, with
Yeah.
that played James Wiseman in 2019. Yeah, and Volley Dante and CJ Walker were the starting front court, and he just never really, it never really translated for him.
Yeah.
Obviously he's now, um, 29 years old and
I mean,
playing
he's
college
good.
basketball. Yeah, he's
He's a
fun.
decent player. I
Yeah,
was surprised by his change of hairstyle, though. I was expecting
Ugh,
the long
the
he
long locks.
went real Dennis Rodman on us with the
Yeah, there was
smiley
a kid
face,
behind me. There was a kid behind me at the game that
blonde hair.
there was a kid that was behind me at the game that was going through puberty, and he said about 17 times in a matter of 3 minutes, "That's Dennis Rodman light, Dennis Rodman light." He kept calling him Dennis Rodman light with his voice
Nice.
cracking and everything. I was like, man, I feel like I'm back in like the pyramid days, and yeah, I was like, this is crazy. That was
There you
me.
go.
That was me cheering for the
Dennis
Tigers.
Rodman Dennis Rodman light.
Dennis Rodman light.
Uh, PJ, though,
Yeah.
I mean, I think he was AAC honorable mention.
This is a sixth
Uh,
time to be a to get a
to be
midweek award
yeah,
this year.
listed in some capacity, whether it's player of the
Yeah.
week or honorable mention, what have you.
Yeah, he's had it 3
Uh,
times. I think he's 3 times player of the week and then 3 times, honorable mention. I
honorable.
mean, just crazy.
25, 4 boards, had a steal, 10 of 10 from the free throw line.
Yeah. It's not a great shooting night for PJ, but obviously
From
got a lot of
from
fouls.
3, yeah,
Yeah.
he was, I think, 1 of 5. It wasn't terrible from the field, 7 of 16, but the dude gets to the free throw line and he knocks him down. I was gonna ask you, like, when's the last time we had a guy that could go to the free throw line that you felt absolutely confident that he was gonna make it? Like PJ.
At the
I
level in which PJ gets there,
I'm
I don't.
surprised when
Yeah.
PJ misses a free throw.
Yeah. At the level, I mean, like, obviously, when, like, Tyler Harris got up there, you'd be like, "Yeah, he's gonna make these." Kendrick Davis was the same way. You're like, "Yeah, you're gonna make
I don't
those."
know. I don't know. I didn't may Kendrick may be a good one.
But
Tyler, I
in
didn't ever feel that comfortable. Like, PJ goes to the line and I'm already it's 2 points. I'm
yeah.
not if he misses, I'm like, "Whoa."
It's just the it's kinda like when you look at the numbers and you look at even before the season started with Colby, you were like, "Man, he's shooting 48% from his career as a three-pointer shooter." But then you look at the usage and you go, for at a 12 attempts a game? Like, he's 48% on 12 attempts a game? Like, there's been years where Tigers didn't get 12 attempts as a team. Like, what is going on?
There's games this year we didn't get 12 a game.
Yeah. And it's like you look at you look at the way the not only just the percentage that he shoots it at, but it's the usage, just the how many times he gets to the free throw line that you're just going, that's a lot of points. I mean, that swings games. Like, shooting that percentage that many times, like, is the difference between wins and losses in a lot of ways, you know?
Yeah,
And so it's like there were it makes it boring for Tigers fans, but at the end of the game, if the Tigers are having a close game, you absolutely know PJ is gonna put his head down, he's gonna get some fouls, and he's gonna go make them. Like, it's just
yep,
you just kinda have that recipe in place already.
yeah. Full confidence in PJ.
Yeah.
It's wild. Um, he's what is I'm gonna hold on. I'm looking real quick. Ken Palm his player of the year ranking.
He was 6th or 7th, I can't remember.
I think he was 7th when we looked last week. He's now 8th as of tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, he's having an all American year, to be honest.
I saw, Mark Adams, does the
Yeah,
color commentary for AAC. He put out a tweet today saying that Yaxel
about
Linden
Yaxel.
should be he's just a quiet killer, and he should be in the conversation with, all these, and I'm like, "Brother." Like,
I mean, Yaxel's good, but UAB has been so bad
so bad.
that it's unbelievable.
No, Yaxel's a
Although
fantastic player,
they're
but
UAB's turning it around in perfect time for when we're gonna have to go down there. The good news about that, though, we'll flip to doing it for the metrics segment. Uh, they're real close to being a quad 2 on the road.
Yeah.
Right now, Temple this Thursday in a it's whiteout week. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. Uh, they're right now, currently, as of today, our last remaining quad 2 opportunity. But UAB's slowly, they won at FAU, I think, yesterday. Sneakily 3-1 in the American, just a half game back from us.
How perfect is it that they are?
But they're
I mean, has such a terrible non-conference and are
and then
about
now they're
to.
gonna figure it out. Yeah, that's just how things go. Just how it goes. But yeah, I saw that tweet. I'm not gonna sit here and say that Yaxel's not good at basketball because he certainly is. But that was an absurd tweet to try to say that he should be in the Player of the Year conversation.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Um, just mentioned it. It is whiteout week, Kenneth. We just may as well call it whiteout conference season because
Conference
it's gonna
season.
we've talked about it nonstop. It's t-shirt game left and right.
Big
It is a
big
whiteout
graphics.
in Philly.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've tweeted out a sold out uh, tweet yet or not, but it is a whiteout in Philly. Hopefully, with the Eagles still in the playoffs, maybe that'll distract them a little bit and it won't be such a raucous crowd. But if there's metrically or anything, if they're in, we've talked about not going undefeated in conference. If there's a game that you quote unquote could afford to lose, it would be Temple Thursday.
Yeah.
Just given that right now they're a quad 2. Now that's not to say they would stay that, but where you're at today, if you dropped one and it wouldn't hurt you anywhere near as much as any of the other, like say if you'd lost Saturday to East Carolina at home, I mean, we're talking about we probably dropped a couple seed lines taking that
Yeah.
Q4 loss. A loss at Temple's, obviously, we've talked about it. You don't want to drop any games in the American, but that's one that it wouldn't do as much damage as some of these others that are remaining.
They got some play. I mean, they got Jamal Mashburn Jr. plays on this team, which is wild because I watched his father play in college.
I
I'm
know.
so
I kept
so
I kept
old.
seeing Mashburn. They would pop up on my feed every once in a while, and it's a Mashburn. Such
Yeah.
a he's averaging like 21 a night, I think.
22.2, shooting 44% from the three, 43% from the field.
He's a player.
76% from the free throw line. I mean, if you're looking at just kind of really nice matchups, the matchup between PJ and Jamal Mashburn Jr. is going
It's
to
going to be
be
fun.
it's going to be fun because you've got guys who are. I mean, I think PJ splits his shooting splits are much better, but um, it's clear Jamal Mashburn's their guy, right? Like
Yeah,
Jamal Mashburn Jr. And you look at it and you go, this is the guy in the AAC. He's number 8 in the nation in the Naismith, awards. And Jamal Mashburn Jr. is going to be up for the game, man. So it's going to be a good game. I think it'll be a fun game. It'll be a fun game on the road. It'll be interesting to see. It's on a Thursday. Right in the middle of the week. What's it going to look like? What's this? What are the Tigers going to play like? So it'll be
yeah.
interesting. This game will be interesting. I think
I mean, thankfully, we've been playing much better away from home than we have at home.
it's wild, right?
Um, I think that there's something about they just like shutting the away crowd up.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's gonna be a whiteout game. Temple's sitting at 2-1 in the American right now, 10-6 overall. As far as conference play goes, they have wins over Rice and Wichita State, both at home. No, they won at Rice and then won against Wichita State at home. Their lone loss, though, is to the East Carolina team that
Yeah.
we just knocked off on Saturday. Lost by 1 at East Carolina, 80-79.
I mean, I do think that, yes, you can look at their conference and say, yeah, they're playing well 2-1. They're a good team, but even their conference schedule, like the Tigers have now played, I would say the three after this Thursday game will have played the three best metrically ranked teams in the conference, right? They played North Texas.
I
Um,
think UAB has now jumped Temple.
oh, did they? Okay.
But it would, yeah, that win that they had at FAU the other night certainly helped them out a lot. I'm pulling it up. Yeah, so UAB is now metrically second. Wait, no, I'm looking at this wrong.
How the heck
What?
does one win do that to their metrics like that? That's crazy.
They're not second. I don't know why it's messed up. I don't know why it's showing me like this. It's not letting me sort it. Second is obviously North Texas. They're 62nd, and then FAU fourth. UAB sitting at 109. Yeah. Temple's fifth. They're at 121. Yeah. So
Okay.
UAB did just jump Temple.
I just think that's interesting. You know, they've played the best teams metrically in the AAC so far, and
Yeah.
you know, they've not played that. They've not played that level of opponent yet, especially even in the non-conference. So
This is actually interesting. Right now, Ken Palm's got, if you go to like the American Athletic Conferences page, he's got the all AAC Ken Palm team. You want to take a gander at who those 5 players are?
PJ Tyrese and
Those are those are the 2 Memphis players that are on the list. There are 3 others that make the list.
3
We
other
have
players from the AAC.
Yeah, for the all AAC. There's 5 players. PJ and
Jamal.
Tyrese. Yep.
Um,
We've
I would
we've
say
talked
they
about
would.
him. We've talked
Yeah,
about him
I would
today
say
already.
Yaxel. I would say
Yep.
Yaxel, but I mean,
Yep.
he's just not been impressive this year to me. I mean, he's a fine player, but
He had a damn good night the other night at
against
FAU.
FAU, he had a great night. But AK is just using him so poorly in that offense. Like, got him floating to the 3-point line. He just, I mean, I'm like, dude, you're a monster. Get in the paint. Like, you should be dominating the paint, and he just floats. Just
Yeah.
floats. Their offense is UAB is not a fun team to watch play basketball. Like, they are not enjoyable at all. Just tough, in my opinion.
The
Who
5th
else?
is the kid from North Texas, Brennan Laurent.
Yeah, I like him. I like him. Athletic as hell. Like, the kid could
Yeah.
play ball. He could play.
Yeah. So he was at he transferred from FAU, right?
Yes.
I think
Yeah, he was
so.
at
Yeah.
FAU. Yeah.
So that's your 5. So we're facing one of the all AAC conference players in Jamal Mashburn
They like their
on
guards in the
Thursday night.
AAC, apparently.
They do.
They
They
don't like
certainly,
bigs. They don't
certainly
like their
do.
bigs.
Certainly do. I don't know how that is done. I'm assuming, I guess, just like player ratings. But anyway,
Yeah.
after Thursday, another whiteout in Charlotte at Charlotte. They're atrocious. But their lower bowl is sold out. I'll tell you that. I don't know how many they seat, but Ken Palm's got us at an 89% chance to win. He's got it a 13-point ball game on the road, which is a heavy favorite. They're 249 at Ken Palm.
Yeah.
I think that's a quad 4 game, to be
And I
honest
just
with
want to
you.
say, I just want to say you're welcome to Charlotte. The ESPN2 flexed that game and got the game on ESPN2. So I just want to say, hey, congratulations to Charlotte to making it to ESPN instead of ESPN Nueve Ocho
I
Diaz.
was shocked that that game is actually on a cable issued ESPN network.
So wild.
Unbelievable.
So wild.
It's unbelievable that Kansas and Cincinnati played this weekend on ESPN Plus, and yet we're going to see Memphis at Charlotte on ESPN2 on
The
Sunday.
slate must be just terrible on Sunday.
I mean, yeah, with the American having, it's basically us in the Big Ten that I think plays like a Thursday or Wednesday, Sunday split. So they obviously probably don't have very much to choose from.
Hey, real quick, there's some breaking news I want to get your thoughts on.
Oh,
I know this is not an NFL podcast at all, but apparently Deion Sanders has been contacted by the Cowboys.
I saw that.
What
I
you think? What
saw
do you?
that right before we started. Look, I was texting a buddy about this earlier today. Because the NFL is such a retread league, like they just
Yeah.
rehire everybody. And I saw that Mike McCarthy is in the running for the Saints
And the
and
Bears.
the Bears. And I'm like,
Why?
just try some. Why? It was just a disaster in Dallas. So I don't know if it would work. I don't know what Dion would be like at the collegiate level, especially hearing some of the things that have come out just about how he kind of treats some of his players and such. Maybe he would be different with professional athletes. I don't know. But I'm certainly not against it.
Well,
I
I
mean,
think
I'm
some of those
intrigued.
I think some of those, I think we might have had
Maybe
a little bit of a
embellished
Joe
stories.
like a Joe Cooper type of situation. Like, let's be
Yeah,
frank about it.
sure.
Like,
Yeah, I can see
guys who
that.
left the program are like, "He didn't even say bye to me." It's like,
Yeah,
"What?" Like, come on, man.
100%. I mean, I'm not. I
Is
don't hate it.
Dion the coach that could come into the Dallas Cowboys franchise and tell Jerry Jones to sit his crazy ass down and stop?
I don't know.
Because again, I'm sorry, I know this is not an NFL podcast, but I just go, that's what
I mean,
what
can anybody tell Jerry that?
you think Bill Belichick could? I mean, Bill Belichick put a poison pill in his UNC contract.
I don't think Jerry's going to hire somebody that's going to tell him that anyway. So
I probably agree with you on that. I mean, if Mike McCarthy can't, like, come on.
yeah, I don't know. That'll be interesting to see though.
Yeah.
I'm kind of here for it though. Dion to the boys.
Whoo. I think Dion could do it. I
What
think
did
he could.
Christian say about it?
We didn't talk about it.
It
He's just
hadn't come out yet.
I hadn't seen it yet. I mean, he's just like over the fact, like he's just the way that the Cowboys did this, right? Where they, you know, didn't allow him to talk to the Bears, you know, let all these other like really big time like potential candidates, you know, get all these interviews, take jobs, things like that. And then they just go, no, we're just not going to re-sign Mike McCarthy. And it's like,
Yeah,
what are you doing? Like, what are you doing over there?
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I would be for it though. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Something different.
Yeah.
Try somebody new.
Here, I'm gonna text Christian and see what he thinks.
Sick of recycling coaches.
Yeah, the recycle is ridiculous because I know, like, we were talking about it on the bluff, and they were talking about Bill and um, Carroll, Pete Carroll, and I'm just like,
Bill's name popped up for who? I saw it like yesterday or 2 days ago.
was it not the Cowboys? Has he not been? Has that not been
Maybe
floated? I
it
think
was.
I don't know.
Was it the Cowboys? I don't know. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and talk a little bit of future Tiger football and laser rocket arms. We'll be right back.
I told you that I think I need to write in and tell somebody that I
That
retired.
you officially retired?
So for me, I think it's literally, I just want to let everybody know I'm making my announcement here on Night Court
This is breaking stuff.
that I'm retired. I'm not coming back. I think I'm gonna hang up my sneakers. I've done as much as I can in this game that I can do. But I want to thank all my coaches, all my teammates, some of the GMs, no, the NBA is great to me and my family, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just like to say, I just want to say thank you.
Oh no. Tears? Oh my goodness. Can we go on or should we just end it there?
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
You see, Dane, for me, is the biggest reason why I seriously doubt the Tigers have peaked at this point. Because if Memphis were at its peak right now, Dane would be averaging about 15 points a game. I mean, I think he needs more opportunities. because he simply made the most of the limited chances that he's gotten. I mean, at the end of the day, this team is always going to have to be revolving around its guard play because that's where it's the talent and the personnel and the scheming is just that. But Dane is a pretty talented big man. He's a very, very special type of post scorer.
He's such a cerebral basketball player. He knows where everyone is on the floor. He's so good with his footwork. He can finish with both hands, right, left. It doesn't matter. If they're not turning the ball over, this is a really good offense, y'all, because they can score on multiple levels. They can score from three. They can score the mid-range. They can score in the paint.
Tune in to Tigers Live with Francis Carlotta, live after every Memphis Tiger basketball game on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
I looked up while we were gone. It was the Raiders I was thinking about. There
Oh,
was a
wow.
tweet out there about how multiple teams had reached out, including the Raiders.
Well, I got an update on the Grizzlies game. They're up 115 to 114 with
I saw
47
that.
seconds
I
left.
just saw that the Rockets were up 2, and then I looked back up, and now the Grizz are up 1.
Yeah.
Please hold everybody for the next 46 game time seconds,
Yeah,
which
this might
could ultimately
take
end up
10
being
minutes.
like 3.5 minutes.
Oh my God, dude, Jalen Green.
Stop!
Sorry, he's so
You were
good.
so far ahead of me.
He's just killing.
How did that go in? He just jumped straight into the body of BC, hovered in the air, and then threw it up last second and went in. Oh gosh.
Wow. Ja just turned it over.
Yeah, that was bad. He's saying he got pushed out. I don't doubt it. Kenny.
Yeah.
Our future quarterback has a freaking laser rocket arm.
Yeah.
Did you see that throw by Antwann Hill?
I did. I was impressed.
It was
I
all
mean,
over the
the
Twitterverse.
fact that he moving in the pocket, coming up the pocket, moving to his right, and just
on the sideline straight into a breadbasket.
50 yards down the field. When
You
is the
said,
Tiger?
you said it before we started. When's the last time we had a Tiger quarterback that throw like that? That exact throw, I don't know. I mean, throw it that far is probably
that far, that accurate.
Ferg Daddy.
Crazy. Yeah, Ferg might.
But
Did you see his interview with Gabe and Kyron on G5 Classified?
Riley
was on.
I have not seen it yet.
Yeah, you need to go check it out. It was really cool
What's
to talk
he
to
doing
him.
now?
He works for Lowe's. He's a
I knew
recruiter
that.
for Lowe's.
Yeah. I knew that. I'd seen that on the
Dude seemed. We asked him. We said, if you had NIL opportunities back then, do you think you would have been $1 million quarterback? And he was like, hell yeah.
I don't.
He might have been.
I don't know.
He was telling the story of kind of how he got to Memphis, and it's just wild, man. Like, dude.
Yeah, the whole painting the fences stuff.
Yeah, just wild. You know, going to Tennessee, his coach
Who
leaving
reached out to him
from Memphis.
Yeah,
I don't remember. He didn't say that specifically. I don't know.
Was it between us and anybody else?
Yes. You'd have to go back and watch the interview. I cannot remember who he said it was.
Check it out.
Yeah, it was a good interview though. He's doing really well.
Good.
Really, what's interesting about it is, you know, he's a pretty brash dude, talks a lot, you know, that kind of stuff. He's just a really good interview. But he's very open about his mental health journey and kind of where, like, even leaving the game, like what it did to him and all this kind of stuff.
I
So
can imagine.
super interesting, you know, conversation. So just went through a lot as he put the ball down for the last time. So
yeah, I can imagine how difficult that is.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Antwann Hill.
I'll say, like, it's got me excited. I know we got Brennan Lewis coming in, but we were talking about it a little bit in the Discord. Like,
yeah.
If Antwann can come in and make those kinds of plays, it may be beneficial to go ahead and give that young man some opportunities.
What do you think? Let me ask you this. Like, what have been the conversations between Ryan and Antwann and his people and all that kind of stuff? Do you think that they're saying, hey, listen, like, you're going to be the most physically gifted quarterback in this room coming in immediately. But this guy's got hundreds of games that he's played in college football in 6 years, in 5 years. He's going to like we want to push you. Like you're the
Yeah.
competition is wide open. Like if you come out and just dominate, spring, fall, all that, summer, you'll be there right there. There's not a guarantee he's going to start though. You don't think I don't think Ryan is
Ryan's not that kind of guy.
yeah.
He's all about the competition. I don't doubt that there's been a moment that Ryan has said, "Look, you are the most gifted quarterback that the University of Memphis has probably ever had, or you have the potential to be the best quarterback they've ever had."
Right.
And I'm not going to tell you that you're the starter, but you have the same opportunity that any other quarterback in that room has. And if you come out and prove that you're the starter, you will be the starter day one. Like, I don't doubt that at all.
Christian said it on the bluff, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. He said, "I would just go ahead and start him," because he almost is like looking at this as like this year as a
It's
even if you lose a few games, it's okay. Like he's the future.
I mean, yeah. And I think it was Tiger like even if Brendan Lewis comes in and he wins you 10 or 11 games, there's no guarantee that that does anything anyway, right? Like we literally just won 11
We just won
games
11
and we went
games.
to the Frisco Bowl.
Yeah.
So like I'm kind of in that same camp of it's a Piano Man and Paxton situation where it's
That's
like
the exact comparison.
oh, for the future of the program,
Yeah.
roll with Antwann.
Yeah. Because you saw when
But I
Paxton
mean,
came
I
in,
think the staff is going to go with whoever they feel like is going to give them the best opportunity to win the most games and win a championship next year, which I think that's the right decision. Because there's also nothing in this day and age. There's nothing stopping Antwann from coming out. Say he goes 9-3 and looks like a freaking stud. He's going to have P5, P4 offers left and right. So like, then it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Could Brennan have won you 2 more games and you won a conference championship? And I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a tough call for sure. But I mean, I'm almost leaning towards like just roll with that. But I also haven't seen a ton of Brendan Lewis and what he's able to do, right? Like part of me is kind of iffy about him just because he's coming from a 3-win Nevada team. And then he was at a Colorado team that I think won 2 games. Like,
yeah. He has a lot of experience, but it's not a lot of winning experience, right? Like it's not a lot of wins on his track record.
And I don't know how, like TJ was talking about this. A lot of that, I know oftentimes wins and losses tend to fall towards the quarterback, but it's like what did he really have around him on those teams? I don't know.
Right.
I don't looking at certain things. I mean, I think he was top 10. We talked about it last week. He was 11th in the country in completion percentage. Like, I don't
his stats look
think
good.
that it's him,
right? His stats look fine. Like he looks like a guy who can competently play the quarterback.
Yeah, he's capable.
Yeah,
for sure.
What do you think? What do you think this next year? I know we don't have all of the roster completely finalized. They haven't even probably started. I mean, I guess maybe they've started workouts, January workouts and stuff like that. But no, they haven't because they haven't started school yet. So what are your thoughts on like? Do you look at this as almost like a transition year, or do you think that the Tigers are good enough to like make waves with all the roster turnover?
I've kind of struggled with this because in a typical, before the portal became such a big thing, and the ability to like just go grab guys and have immediate success almost, I'd have said that this was a total rebuild year.
Yeah, you're losing so much,
but now it's like, okay, you're looking at rivals. We now have the number 2 transfer class. We had the best freshman signing class of the G5. So not only was our freshman signing class the best in the group of 5, we have the second best at not just group of 5, but in the nation, the second best transfer class.
Yeah.
And relative to what's surrounding us in the American, I'm like, you should probably be the favorite to win the conference again.
Well, I mean, you look at a team
I haven't gone in depth of what,
like Tulane brought in
right. I mean, I know that they lost Mensa, but I think Ty Thompson came back, right? Like,
Yes.
I don't know what UTSA is bringing back in a sense, but just based on our signing class from high school and the transfer portal, like, I'm almost leaning towards there's no reason for us to not be in the conversation of winning the American and being in the playoff spot again.
What a
To be honest.
wild turn of events that would be, right? Like this year's team was by far Ryan's most
Oh,
talented.
yeah,
The
100%.
continuity, the roster continuity, the experience, even the coaching staff, the offense, the coordinators and Ryan have had multiple years now together. Everything was poised at the beginning of this year that this should be the year that they would compete at that level.
Yeah,
What if it's this year? Like, what if
I
it's
know
25?
that, and I'm starting to feel like it. I mean, that should. We've said it before. The expectation every year should be to compete for the conference championship, and I'm like this. Everyone was so in on it last year. I'm like, this would be the year. Like the year that people are probably thinking is going to be a down year because we lost so much is going to be the year that we come out and win the conference.
I said this in the Discord and got thoroughly roasted for this, and I want to reiterate this a little bit, and maybe hopefully say it in a better way. I really do wonder what it's going to be like seeing Ryan Silverfield coach a Seth Hennigan led team, because I feel
Yeah,
as good as Seth was, as consistent as he was, there was a definite ceiling to where he was going to be able to lead a team in terms of just what they produced on the field. Seth
yeah.
was a limiter in a lot of ways. Um, and I want to, if we can take it to even compare it to Penny, right?
I was
Compare it
about to
to the
say it's almost like people wanting to
East.
see Penny without the East kids. It's kind of that like fallback security blanket situation. Like you have your guys that you trust and kind of lean on, and now they're gone. So what do you really make? Like,
Sink or swim time now. And I
yeah,
wonder, you see Penny and their team is flourishing, right? Penny is coaching better than he's ever coached before. Um, I just wonder if maybe the story arc of the Tiger football program might be the same way at this point. Like
yeah.
you just wonder.
It's something else we didn't even talk about. I didn't even mention this either. You're gonna have 6 brand new head coaches in the American too.
Crazy.
Like I'm talking myself into if we're not the favorite, that it's a bad year.
Clear cut team coming into
I
the
mean,
next year
you
that you go,
yeah,
that's the team, right?
and you've gotten this is the flip year where you get the favorable matchups all at home.
All at home. Yeah.
You got USF at home, you got Tulane at home, you got Navy at home.
Yeah.
Going to East Carolina is going to be. I mean, they looked good after they named their interim coach at least down the year, and then they beat NC State in their bowl game, right? Again, I don't know how much they're bringing back, but that's probably your toughest conference game on the road. Otherwise, you got Rice away and UAB away, and then at FAU.
Has their
We're-
non-conference schedule come out yet?
Yeah, we've got the Mocs of Chattanooga
Okay.
on Labor Day weekend to open up. Then we go. I don't like this. We go at Georgia State and then at Troy. I don't
Tough
like
game.
having 2 away non-conference. Like, I mean, I know they're doing that for at least Georgia State's recruiting Atlanta area. The at Troy, whatever, and then you got Arkansas in the bowl for now.
For now.
I don't think I know there were discussions about flipping that game to away. I don't think that they would do that because that would leave us with 5 home games, and I just don't think that's something that would happen. So, I mean, you got a pretty favorable schedule next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be honest, with all the, I mean, having Arkansas at home, Nate, your 4 toughest games probably all at home.
It's interesting. It's interesting. It makes you wonder, what's it going to look like? You know what I'm saying? Like what this
Yeah.
team is going to be.
I'm very interested. I'm very interested in seeing. I think at least having like Greg and Sutton and Lanfear come back and 3 starters on the offensive line gives me a lot of like you know a little bit what you're getting there offensively. I'm very intrigued by what we're going to see defensively because you're essentially
You're starting over.
literally starting over. I mean, outside of having like Whitlow come back and Javante Mackey, who we did not get to see him, but we know what kind of player he is because A, he's from the Memphis area, but 2, we also watched him
Yeah.
play against us at Arkansas State. But outside of that, like
He's also coming off
that's
a crazy knee injury.
yeah,
So
an injury. But defensively, you're going to be literally a brand new team. You're definitely adding some new pieces offensively, but you've still got some weapons you're familiar with. And defensively, it's like I don't have no idea what to expect.
I'm interested to see
In
what
a
that
way,
running
might be a good thing.
do. What?
I said in a way, it might be a good thing. The defense is totally brand new.
Come on.
What are you saying
Especially-
about running back?
I'm
Interesting how that's going to work out.
Yeah, I mean they got 4 running backs that can do things.
Yeah, but as we saw, I mean, shit, this last year, like,
Yeah.
you can't have too many, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, load them up.
Load them up.
Speaking of running backs,
Yeah, man.
our boy Super Mario, MVP of the Hula Bowl, because there was
Continuing the tradition of Tiger running backs
that's
winning.
back-to-back seasons that a Memphis Tiger running back. Blake Watson last year was the MVP. I did not get to see it because our TV guides lied to us and said that the game was going to be televised on CBS Sports. And I think that they were showing the Army-Navy game on replay or something. So nobody got to watch it unless you stayed up until 3 a.m.
Yeah.
on Sunday night.
So ridiculous.
I don't know what Mario's exact stat line is. I just know that he scored their only touchdown in the game.
I think it was the only touchdown in the game.
The single touchdown for both ball clubs in the game.
Yeah.
He was all-time running back for both teams, and he scored 1 touchdown, the only touchdown of the game.
What a fun game that must have been to watch.
No wonder he was the MVP because he was
Yeah.
all-time running back.
Right?
They only handed the ball off. Nobody else touched the ball.
else. Yeah, they didn't
outside
throw.
of the 2 quarterbacks and Mario.
Quarterbacks were 0 for 0. Yeah, man.
No, shout out though.
Shout out.
I wonder if that's ever happened before. That a player from the same school in back-to-back seasons has gotten
The same position. The same position. too.
even same position
That's wild.
as the Hula Bowl MVP.
How are you feeling about Mario and the NFL draft? You think he's gonna get drafted somewhere?
I don't think he'll get drafted. TJ's usually better at this too than me because he just follows that stuff. I don't see it. I think he will definitely get signed, undrafted, and signed and given a shot and invited to a training camp. And I wouldn't be surprised if he made a roster.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't think he'll get drafted. But
He's
I could
just
be
too
wrong.
much of a dog, man. You get him in a situation, you get him
I
in
know.
camp, and
I
just
think
let
somebody
him
will give
work.
him a shot. I would love for him to get some Hard Knocks pub. Whoever ends up being Hard Knocks, if they're the team,
Yeah,
that gives him a shot, and we get a little bit of an underdog story from Mario.
be fun. That'd be
I'd
fun.
be all over that.
I would too.
I'd be all
Congrats
over
to
it.
Mario, though, man.
Yeah, shout out to Mario.
He was an unsung hero for this team.
He
man.
really was. And I said it multiple times this year, but I really did feel like he didn't get enough credit for
100%.
the production that he had throughout the year. I mean, he came in and really did fill the shoes of losing Blake Watson. And it's a damn shame that we couldn't
Losing Blake Watson, losing Sutton
lose
Smith,
Sutton,
losing Greg for 8
6
weeks.
weeks.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like the dude had to carry the banner for the running back room, and he did it very well. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I loved watching him play. I love watching him run. Obviously,
I
Tiger
loved
fans,
watching him try to jump over somebody every week.
yes. I love the dances in the end zone. Like all of them were Kappa related. I mean, it was fun, man. Like he just was Tiger fans, I think, are going to look back at this 24 season and go, it's a disappointment, right? Like it was just a disappointment. And that kind of makes me, you know, I feel the same way about him as I do about Musa Cisse. Um, the Musa's freshman year, the Tiger defense was phenomenal. They were ridiculous, and Musa was probably the best rim defender in the entire country as a freshman. But yet nobody really remembered it because it was COVID year and nobody was at the games, and you just didn't see him you just didn't get to see, media didn't get to cover Musa the way that that we get to normally, throughout a season. And I just kind of feel the same way about obviously different scenarios, with Mario, but it's just he I think he's going to be remembered more fondly after he's gone than he was at the end of the year.
Yeah, he's one of the same with Blake Watson,
Yeah.
right? Like he's one of those guys, Kendrick, basketball wise. Like it's those guys that we got for 1 year that you kind of fall in love with, and you're like, damn, I wish we really could have had him for 3 or 4 years.
Man, dude, come on.
Like all three of those dudes, Watson, Mario, and Kendrick.
We just got to, as fans, we're gonna have to get used to this, though, right? Like we're gonna have to get
100%.
used to these
Yeah, you're gonna.
1 year
Yeah,
rental type of situations and buy in immediately. Like,
yeah,
don't wait for a year when they're not there anymore.
yeah.
It's just the way it's going to work from this point forward, as the transfer
Yep.
portal is still the most dominating factor of college sports at this point.
Mhm. Yep. Just unlimited free agency.
Unrestricted free agency. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is wild. But shout out to Mario,
Yep. Shout out.
Hula Bowl MVP. All right, let's get into this adjective animal.
Hey, nice. Way to go.
Adjective animal. I like this can a lot. I feel this feels morally wrong to be saying. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a sticker on an old recycled Wiseacre can, and I want to take points off for it because you can see the old
Yeah.
can underneath. I wish that the sticker was. I'm all about recycling. I love
Did
that
they
they're
do that on
reusing
purpose?
cans.
Is that the it not fitting over the entire can?
I'm
The
sure it's.
previous design? Is that
I'm
on
sure
purpose?
it's some kind of. No, it's probably just a production manufacturing thing that it's easier to just throw this. It also doesn't. It's not even big enough to wrap all the way around. You see that? It's got
It's
a.
crazy.
So that makes me want to take points off. I don't even know what
Can you take it
this
off?
old one was. Oh yeah, it'll come off. Look at that. It is peeling clean off.
Dude, that is crazy. That must be you
Um,
must have gotten like the first batch run of the new branding.
it was a sun bump can.
Dude, okay,
This
I
feels,
like
I think TJ messed with me, and this wasn't.
the sticker, but if that is how they packaged it and sold it, that takes points off of the design.
It does, but it also feels wrong to be saying that because they've done a good thing in recycling a can. But I just wish that the sticker fit better, and you couldn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. I like the can. I like the design. I love the color. I love that they've worked in. It almost has the Tiny Bomb feel where you think it's just like squiggly lines and such if you're not really paying attention. But it's all the hidden animals in there. It
It's
makes
dope.
me think of the what were those magazines that were in the doctor's offices and dentist offices when we were kids? Was it Highlighter?
Yeah.
Highlight.
That's right.
And they had those like find these things in the picture. That's what it's reminding me of.
Yep, I like that.
Find the rabbit. There it is.
Yep.
It's
Find
a damn good can.
Find the
I
bird's
do
face.
for this particular one, I am subtracting
You have to.
two decimal points because of
Oof.
the sticker not
Yeah, you have to.
fitting completely and being able to see the sun bump underneath. But I want to add back a decimal point because they recycled a can.
Okay. I think it's fair. I think that's fair. I think it's fair.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
This might be my. I'd have to get a lineup. This might be my favorite Wiseacre can.
Yeah.
It's a good. I love the pink color.
I do too.
Font's good. Is it wild to say 7.3 on the can?
I don't think so. So if that was a fully produced like can with We're talking like high sevens.
I mean, I
Low
think
eights.
mathematically what I just said, it would have been 7-4 because I said I was
7-4.
deducting 2 point. But then again, you get me that's without me having the real cannon
Yeah.
here. That's just, I mean, it's mid-7 for sure,
Wow.
which I think TJ he's the historian.
You
He would have to,
automatically set the bar lower with the sticker
yeah,
than it would be if the can was really made that way. And then
yeah,
you take 2 decimal points off and then add
yeah,
1 more for the
yeah,
recycle. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, this would be mid upper 7s probably.
Yeah. It's dope. I like the
It
color
just
a lot.
the sticker thing throws me off so much. The beer's great too. I really don't think I've ever had this. I think because to be honest with you, I've never been a big IPA guy until we started doing this, and TJ's had me drinking so many. I'm kind of mad now that this is the first time that I'm ever having this.
Are we sure it's not a sun bump? Are we sure it's an adjective animal?
It's definitely not a sun bump.
Have you had sun bump?
I have, and I'm pretty sure it's a wheat style ale, and this is clearly double IPA up in here. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, Sun Bump's a Belgian style wit ale.
Yep.
This is definitely adjective animal. It's good. Like I said, I'm a little disappointed in myself not to have partaken in this before. It's not. I mean, it's not my favorite Wiseacre beer, but I would have this again. For a double, this is real good.
Yeah.
I mean, like 6.9. I don't
Woo.
know. I'm gonna go 7. I'm going 7 flat. It deserves a 7.
Wow.
It's good.
It's a good beer.
It is good.
Damn good beer.
I'm looking forward to having that again.
Yep. Well, listen, hey, before we leave, I wanted to say that it was a pleasure to be able to go to Celebration of Life for your brother this week. It is cool. I never met Duncan ever. But I walked away from that night feeling like I knew him. And so you have an awesome family. It was really cool to kind of hear stories and people talking about him and seeing pictures and seeing his family, meeting Miss Betty for the first time. It was awesome. She's a massive Tiger fan. Dude, it was just a great night. You got a amazing family. So
We do. It was very special, and really appreciate coming out and everybody else that did. I know there's several that listened to this that came, so we appreciate the support and love. And you guys stay tuned because my parents are trying to finagle their way into getting a podcast with Kenny. It seems like so.
listen, your mom is ready, bro. She's so
Yeah,
ready.
right.
She's so ready.
Oh, she wouldn't know.
Your
what to
mom
do.
is wild, man. She was
We
so
tried
much
to get
fun.
her. We tried to get her on that one night, and she wouldn't do it. So
Yeah, she wouldn't do it. She
she
wouldn't
have
do
to
it.
come on this one before she gets her own.
We need to get her on. We need to
You
do
hear-
an Ask Betty segment.
Yeah, we'll have to do a segment.
Yeah, we need to do a segment.
Maybe Tiger history segment with old mom and pops.
That's what I'm talking about.
Long time Tigers. So shout out to them. Shout out to Kenny. Hopefully we survive this whiteout week, Kenny. It is definitely not our toughest stretch, but it's
Super
gonna
Bowls.
Be,
we have 3 Super Bowls to fight off this week, man. Or 2 Super Bowls.
Super Bowl after Super Bowl. Anyway, we'll be back next week. Come with the cold beer, stay for that takes. Peace.
Peace.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for a comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports.